covering every county. This is your statewide newscast. Arkansas Today.
I would say, I may be dead, but I'm going to haunt you.
After serving 20 years in the military, one Arkansas man is battling with the fear he may have been misdiagnosed, and he is not alone. Good Monday afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Arkansas Today. I'm Tyler Thomas, and it's an update to a story we brought you first last month about an impaired pathologist at the Veterans Hospital in Fayetteville. Arkansas Today's Peyton Yeager sat down with one concerned vet to hear his story.
I'm one of the victims, as I call this, okay?
Steve Isaacson served in the military for 20 years. This includes fighting for our country in Vietnam.
You're such a good boy.
Now he has a new battle to take on. Isaacson received this letter in the mail from the Veterans Hospital in Fayetteville.
And I had to shake my head and read it again. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was angry, and I'm still angry.
KNWA was there when the VA announced the investigation into all cases seen by the impaired pathologist. Isaacson is one of almost 20,000 patients that may have been misdiagnosed.
He took an oath. So what he's doing is malpractice.
Isaacson is a disabled veteran and has relied on the VA Center for decades.
Oh, that's mine.
He says he never saw any signs that would lead to this type of problem.
You're not diabetic. Your liver's okay. This is okay. That's okay. According to this, maybe they weren't okay.
But he tells me he and other veterans are demanding answers.
It's between a class action suit, or they need to contact every veteran that got this letter and make an offer to them.
The hospital has confirmed 7 people so far have been misdiagnosed and 1 patient may have died. I asked Isaacson, what if the worst happens to him?
If I would die tomorrow, I've got a couple of things I would say. I may be dead, but I'm going to haunt you.
And here's a timeline for how this whole investigation has played out thus far. The VA first found the physician, who has not been named yet, to be impaired back in March of 2016. Then, more than a year later, the doctor was found impaired again in October 2017. That's when the VA fired that employee. Since the doctor was at the hospital since 2000. Now has close to 20,000 cases to go through as this federal investigation continues. An ATV accident left a 53-year-old woman fighting for her life. This happened on Saturday on private property in Pulaski County near the Arkansas River. Deputies say the woman was riding by herself when the ATV flipped, pinning her underneath it. They say she was there for a while before her family found her. A helicopter was called in to take her to the hospital after the fire department's equipment got stuck. A 17-year-old boy died after falling into the water at Greers Ferry Lake over the weekend. Park rangers say he could not swim and was not wearing a life jacket. This happened on Saturday morning. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office says other people tried to help the teen until emergency crews arrived. His body was found by a diver 30 feet away from where he fell in. And with the increase in school shootings, state leaders and educators are meeting this week to focus on keeping students safe. The Arkansas Safe School Conference kicked off earlier this morning, where they'll focus on topics like suicide prevention, bullying, cybersecurity, and school violence. And they'll hear from speakers, including a mother from Sandy Hook Elementary. Governor Asa Hutchinson spoke this morning, saying we need more school resource officers, but teachers should never be required to carry a firearm.
We don't want to encumber them with a mandatory requirement they have to carry a firearm. Let me tell you, there would be a decline in the number of teachers entering the profession. And so it should never be mandatory that a teacher do that.
The Arkansas Safe Schools Conference runs through Wednesday. Next month, schools in Heber Springs will have armed staff in every building. Other changes include requiring middle and high school students to carry mesh or clear backpacks. In a letter sent to parents, the superintendent called these extraordinary steps to keep kids safe. Some parents say the changes are unfortunate but not surprising.
I don't mind doing whatever they want to do, for the safety of the kids.
More locks are also being put inside buildings. Middle and high school students will now need electronic key cards to get to classes. According to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, one Arkansan dies by suicide every 16 hours. Pat Hufford lost her niece to suicide 9 years ago. She says the heartache from this kind of loss never really goes away. That's why she volunteers her time for suicide prevention efforts like the Ride to Fight Suicide that happened on Saturday.
And it is becoming not so much of a stigma like it used to be. You know, it used to be you didn't say what had really happened, but I think people are realizing now that we need to talk about it.
The Ride to Fight Suicide is a motorcycle and car ride around Northwest Arkansas. Organizers have raised more than $3,000. Today, the ruling allowing the State Medical Marijuana Commission to issue cultivation permits will become final. The commission has a meeting on Thursday to discuss hiring an outside group to score applications. Lawmakers will have to approve that decision. The earliest they could do that would be next month. Traffic concerns for a new downtown Little Rock intersection. People who live and work in the area of Capitol and Rock are worried about the lack of a stop sign there. They say it forces many passing cars to inch into oncoming traffic, leading to a problem with visibility on the street. People we talk to say they love that they're seeing a boost in local businesses there, but now they're asking for a safer commute.
Say the first step would just be to add a stop sign at this intersection, really a four-way stop at this intersection.
The East family reached out to the mayor's office with their concerns. A traffic review was ordered a few weeks ago. No word yet on if it has been performed or if any changes will come of it. The largest convention in Little Rock, bringing thousands of people from all over the world, is officially underway. Powerful sounds right there. The Arkansas Taekwondo Association World Expo runs all week in downtown Little Rock. This is the 49th year for the event, which brings nearly $4 million to the local economy. This year's theme is ATA Unity. The expo begins today with martial arts training, and later this week, competition will begin. And the State Fair is coming up in October, and we now know what music stars will be taking the stage. Take a look. The Charlie Daniels Band will kick things off on opening night, followed by P.O. and Joe Nichols, just to name a few. Premium tickets will go on sale this Friday, but general admission to concerts is free with a gate ticket. The event begins October 11th.